Hey, yo, what's up? I hope you're having a good time. Remember to eat your vegetables. Look us up on the dark web, and we don't have any merch, but follow me out to my car and buy the shrimp out of my trunk. I got trunk shrimp.
All right, everybody. Welcome to season 2, episode motherfucking 3 of Stage Banter with Mr. P and RATH. We are here with our friends from Florida. That's right, Florida. I don't know why the fuck we keep getting bands from Florida. But here it is, the fucking lot listeners. We have John the Barnes hanging out with us, talking shit, talking stage banter. Remember, this is the show. I don't give a fuck what their new song is, their new album, their tour, their new hipster hairdos, or t-shirts that they're selling, or hoodies, or bullshit. We're only here to talk about what they say between the songs. Because let's be honest, most punk band songs are 3-chord bullshit. It's what they say between the songs that really matter. RATH, what are you drinking there, buddy? Is that iced tea? Long Island iced tea?
That's what Van Halen would say. Or who? I don't know. I don't remember who got called out for it.
Van Halen. I got in trouble once for Van Halen because I was at a staff meeting in a law office, and the owner of the office's son told the story of Van Halen with the M&Ms. Mm-hmm. And I forget, and I don't even remember at this point anymore. He said they were green or brown. I forget which ones they had removed. But I corrected him on the cover. So I just recently listened to an economics podcast. And in the economics podcast, they had talked about how Van Halen did it for contract arbitration reasons to make sure the contracts were properly read so that they, if you're not pulling out the right color of M&Ms, and you're also not putting the fireworks in the right spot.
That's actually pretty smart.
That's what I said. I got reading out my boss going, "You didn't need to correct my son. Why do you always have to be right?" I was like, I didn't know that it mattered that I corrected him on the color of M&Ms. Like, why is he so sensitive on that?
Yeah, tell him to toughen up a little bit.
Because I literally don't remember right now. If you corrected me, I'd be like, "Thank you, John. I can't remember."
Right. Yeah, like you're gonna get corrected out in the real world, so get used to it.
Yeah, I was like, "I'm sorry that your kid just recently graduated college and everyone told him he was brilliant, and being corrected on M&M colors offensive."
There's that out there for sure.
I was like, wait till he gets married. He'll be corrected all the motherfucking time.
Oh.
Or has children.
But you could Google that shit. Matter. They're still right.
Yeah. Another Van Halen story. I'm sorry. I was at a bar hanging out, which I do sometimes. And this young pup, as you call them, he was serving me, and he mentioned that he, for the life of him, couldn't find a copy of Van Halen Fair Warning. And I was like, why? He's like, "It's my favorite Van Halen album." I'm like, why? But no, that's fine. I'll accept that that's your favorite Van Halen album. But you can't find a copy? I was like,
yeah, there's
here it is. There's 25 copies. It was like, what website is that? It's like Discogs.
Yeah.
You buy used records online.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
That record is that's not.
And I'm like, I feel like that's wow. I'm talking to the net.
He
should be worth this shit already. It's like, what was he at? eBay? Maybe he was on CD Baby.
Who knows? He went to Walmart and they didn't have the record.
They had the record at Walmart. I was like, you haven't tried very hard if you can't find this Van Halen album.
Right.
Because, they're a very hard to find band.
Yeah. Oh, extremely. Very rare stuff.
Very rare stuff, the Van Halen stuff. Oh, we got to get some Van Halen stage banter out here one day. If I knew we were going on a Van Halen, I would have prepared for that.
Right.
They probably
banter.
So speaking of stage banter,
how
about you, John? You're the singer, right?
Yep.
So do you handle most of your stage banter because you are the one that gets stuck singing the words?
I do. That's probably one of my least favorite parts about it, actually.
And yet you're on a podcast to elaborate on that which you
I know.
I asked him to be on knowing full well.
Not that it's my least favorite part. But I don't know. Like I get into like a mode of playing and singing music, and then it's hard to get out of that for a second and just joke around or something. Like I don't know how to explain that. But also I don't know. Like I'm not I'm not like a very preachy person about anything. Like, I definitely have opinions, but like, you're only going to get them if I know you real well. You know what I mean? Sort of like,
You're not going to get up there and pontificate on whether or not a 25-year-old punk rocker should be having a kid with a person that they're barely dating.
Right. None of my business. Don't, you know what I mean? Like, and I grew up around like going to a lot of hardcore shows where like, I mean, we're talking a 45-minute set of 6 songs and like 20 minutes of just like, you know what they say about animal rights? And you're like, oh God.
Dude, I grew up in DC. Trust me, I heard lots of that.
Right. And it's like, you knew these motherfuckers too. So you're like, dude, this guy shouldn't be telling anybody how to live their life. Like, you know what I mean? That guy's a disaster. I know him. But
that'd be like Stizza from Leftover Crack talking about how to like be a good.
Right, exactly.
I stopped myself.
Yeah, and like that was 90s, so like a lot of that was like straight edge hardcore bands, and they always wanted to tell you what a piece of shit you were, but like those were the ones that always did fucked up shit to girls. Like, we were all just smoking weed in the woods, being nice.
There was always kind of a jockcore element to a lot of that straight edge hardcore.
There was,
and we took a lot of the jocks
like gravitate towards the punk rock stuff.
Yeah,
most,
it was, but it was weird, right? It was like I always put a lot of blame on Nirvana, right? Like they killed metal, Headbangers Ball, and all that stuff disappeared. Countdown to the Ball, and all the metalhead jockheads were like, "Well, what can we play?" And I was like, "Oh, New York hardcore is kind of metal. It's got the heavy riffs. It's got the drop tuning. It's got the muted big chords. Instead of solos, we do breakdowns, and we don't have to wear our basketball jerseys and stuff.
Right.
But it was that same sort of like, and I apologize to all the New York hardcore bands out there that I'm now insulted by calling you a bunch of jockcore assholes. I'm not meaning that, but you get the point I'm making. If you're not aware of machoism in jockcore,
I love a lot of that music.
Yeah.
Like, all my favorite hardcore bands are straight edge hardcore bands, and I am the least straight edge person that you know.
I love Minor Threat. I love Gorilla Biscuits. I love You the Today. Like all day long. I used to go see Earth Crisis all the time. Like
Earth Crisis show.
Yeah.
That was just insane. That band was so good live. Like the mid 90s. And again, you can't understand what the fuck the guy's saying anyway. So it wasn't like the words were resonating with me really. Like, I was in it for the drums and the breakdowns.
There you go, right? It's all about the drums and the breakdowns. So you didn't take that pontificating, get up there, preach about the purpose of your music's thing. So what how would you, if you had to pick a genre for your stage banter, what genre would you give your stage banter?
Observational comedy, I guess.
Oh, so you're like Seinfeld.
Yeah, like if I say anything other than like, talking about merch or talking about shows that are coming up, or those are kind of always go-tos, or like, propping up the band that played before you or the band that played after you, or both of them, you know what I mean? Those are all kind of like standard things that you go to. I guess if there's anything else that I would do, I would just, be like, hey, look at that fucking shirt that guy's wearing. What, you know what I mean? Like, just pointing out.
In between advertising, you made Seinfeld jokes. Pardon me, everybody. This is the point where I have to discuss the advertising for the show. We are sponsored by Tama Drums because I play Tama Drums, and Tama Drums wants to give me a new drum set. Isn't that right, Tama Drums? Thank you. Sorry about
that. So yeah, I guess that would be kind of my tactic for stage banter.
Do you ever practice that shit, like when you're you're in band practice and you're going through a set? Did you ever stop and like?
I probably should, but I always feel like a fucking weirdo if I do. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
I think if we were making a lot more money, we all probably would.
Well, yeah, I mean, we only got 2 hours at Circle Studios. I got like 3 new songs I want to show you. I'm not talking to motherfuckers at all until this is over,
Well, I mean, to Rath's point, right? Like, that kind of brings up another question. Like, does your stage banter change based on the size of the show? Right. I've seen you a couple times, and I've seen you play to like decent crowds at Florida Underground Fest and at Lakeland Flea Market. But I've also seen you play to the well-torn trope of the bartender and their dog.
Yes. Oh yeah, love it. But yeah, I mean, I guess the smaller shows, I think I'll actually talk more.
Okay.
Because a lot of those are like, everybody there. It's all your friends that are watching you, so it's easier to talk. Like at bigger shows, I don't know. Like we got one coming up in April with the Toasters at Orpheum, Tampa, and like my philosophy for that kind of show is kind of like you're on first. Nobody's there to see you. Nobody wants to hear your bullshit. So like, play as many of your songs like back to back to back to back to back as you can, and don't talk as much. You know what I mean?
I love you, John. You
I mean,
understand me.
That's my policy.
You're the first person he's ever been nice to.
I'm never nice to anybody, but like I just had a debate with the bass player in my band. He's like, "Oh, when we play last, we can play 40 minutes." I'm like, "No, you never play more than 25 minutes." He's like, "Why?" I was like, "In the first 10 minutes, they like you, or they decided if they like you. The next 10 minutes, they actually like you. Then if you hit the 30-minute mark, they're going outside to smoke a cigarette, get a beer, take a piss, or wishing the next band came on. You always want to get off the stage before that happens. So 20 to 25 minutes is your goal. And if they ask for one more, then you can fucking give it to them, and maybe you'll hit 30. But if no one asks you after 25 minutes for one more, then you don't need to play one more."
Oh, no, I agree. And like never like, there's a certain etiquette to this shit, like baseball. You know what I mean? Like there's unspoken fucking rules that you just learn to follow over time.
It's the hidden curriculum.
If you're not playing last, no matter how many people are asking you for one more, you don't fucking do it.
No.
You know what? Like, no.
And plus, you played a short set to begin with and gave them that chance.
Well, yeah, that's different. But like an encore type of thing, like, no, you don't do that unless you're the headliner of the show. You know?
No, get off the fucking stage.
Right. Like, I mean, our policy is always like, dude, we break down and set up fast as fuck. Because, like, that's just disrespectful to not do it. Like, I'm a terrible golfer, but I could go play golf with anybody because I'm not a fucking dickhead, like, looking for my ball the whole time. Something like, I'm pretty much there to smoke weed and drink beer anyway.
Yeah, you'll keep moving on. You don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I'll make you laugh while we're out there. I'm a great time, but I'm not really, all you gotta do is be polite.
I've never gotten into a fight at a hardcore show, but I almost got into a fight on the golf course. I was golfing with my uncle and her friend and her stepdad, and they're all like in their 70s, Vietnam War vet sort of people, and they are taking their goddamn ass time. Can't walk, needs the cart, so he's like goes back to the cart, and they placed us before a tournament, and man, people were giving us shit, and they hit balls at us. One ball went into like the golf cart, almost beamed one of them, and all of a sudden you had octogenarian people about ready to brawl up with a bunch of broskies, and I'm just like, what the fuck is happening right now?
Yeah, oh, dude, I grew up in New Jersey, so like I'd go out there with my dad. It'd be like cold out, and you got these Goombas behind you that are like, "Yo, hurry the fuck up!" And you're like, "Why are we doing this? This is not fun." You know what I mean?
No. So, but ethics, there's rules. There's rules. What are the rules to stage banter? Are there any ethical rules? Not ethical. Are there any etiquette? That's the word I was looking for. Etiquette rules to stage banter.
I guess one would be like if you see some fucked up shit going on out in the crowd, I think it is your responsibility to say something about it.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think that's kind of like an unspoken rule. Like, if you're a band up there that just ignores like some kid getting his ass beat, then like you're a piece of shit. Like, you have a microphone, you should probably say something about it,
That I think that harkens back to our first episode, right, Rath, where I played the clip of all
the Dave Grohl,
both like breaking up a fight in their own different way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
or telling people to pick people up if they're falling down or whatever. The other rule, which sometimes I'm not great at, is like, if you're gonna call out like a couple of the bands, like you should call out all of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Probably get their names correct as well.
Right.
Yeah, it really sucks when you forget. You're like all the way through and you're like, fuck, there's one more band.
Yeah.
Like, what was that? We've all done it. Like, what was the name of that other band? And then somebody will know. Yeah.
I mean, I'm like terrible. There's people that I've known for years from shows that I'm not going to name any names because I don't know their names. Like, I just know them.
Nope. I get it.
Like, it's to the point where you can't ask them what their name is anymore.
Nope.
You know what I mean?
100%.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the last time I played DC, and I hadn't been there since I moved away in 2008. So I hadn't played a show there in almost 15 years or whatever. And then people walk in and it's like, "What's up, Scott?" I'm like, and there was literally this one dude that I was talking to for 10 minutes that I thought was my old bass player from another band. I started aged really poorly.
That's happened to me before too.
And,
when you're drinking and it's dark,
But I gave all sorts of context, and the dude didn't correct me. He's let me go on and on.
Oh my god.
I'm talking about his wife and all sorts of other shit. He's not going like, "That's not my wife." I was like, he could have just corrected me. He's let me go on and on. And then the bass player actually showed up. I was like, "Fuck."
That's hilarious.
So where did you come from?
I was like, "I'm bad. God, I suck at this." Which, that kind of brings me, like, there's merch on this. There's stage banter on the stage, but there's also like sidebar stage banter. Like when you go to the merch table, who handles your merch table handles that kind of conversation.
So I don't know. We're like really the worst merch band that there is. Like, we have merch, but like, good luck finding us because we're always like roaming around talking about.
And this is why I haven't put out your live record yet.
Right.
I see you once a week, and I still need.
Other than the fact that I like it, the fact that you just told me that now I'm dropping you to the bottom of my list. You were on.
No, I mean,
I'm dropping you down.
We've been trying to get people more to do the merch for us. Like,
yeah,
buddies of ours that come out anyway. Because like, I can't sit at the table. Like, I'm just like, I see somebody, I'm like, hold on, I'll be right back. And then
that's why you need your kids. Like my kid, my 15-year-old, I bring her to all the DCPC shows I do, and I pay her a flat rate. I get her all the diet Dr. Pepper she wants, or Dr. Pepper, whatever the fuck it is. I give her $50 and a percentage of the sales.
That's my kid's 13.
And she's a tip jar, and she will work the table for me, and she puts on her beats because she's like, "Dad, I think what you do is really good, but I don't really care for the music, so I'm just going to play Doja Cat really loud. And I'm going to ignore what's happening, but I can turn it down if someone comes to the table."
But no, the other good thing about punk rock is that you could just kind of do it on the honor system too. Like, now there's like Venmo and stuff. Like, we've never been robbed, and people like, my phone will just ping like, somebody sent you $5, and then like the hat's off the table, and I go put another one on. Like, I don't know. I'm not like worried about. Again, that's not big shows.
No, but it's but there's an art to talking about people at the merch table, because I feel like punk rock of all things, we're not braggarts, right?
Right.
We're self-deprecating, we're self-effacing.
Exactly.
We recognize that we play 3-chord music, that the songs are good songs, but they're not exactly like Yngwie Malmsteen or anything like that. Like, we're just
right. Yeah, one of the hardest parts about playing music, I think, is like, I don't know how to respond to people when they're like, "That was really awesome." You're like, I don't know. I feel weird about it. I'm like, "Oh, thanks."
I used to give out my email address back before social media existed, and I would tell kids to email me and that I would take them fishing.
That's awesome.
I don't even fish. I was just like, they would ask for my autograph. I was like, "Here's my email address. Email me, and we'll go fishing or something."
That's awesome.
I was like, I don't want to be your idol, but I'm like, if you want to communicate and go do some shit, yeah. I mean, I'm 25 and you're 16, and it's weird, but let's do it anyway.
I mean, I've had like over the years a couple like younger kids that were like at shows with their dad or something,
Yeah.
you know, like come up and be like, oh, like, you know, I just started playing guitar. And like, I love talking to kids about shit like that, you know, like that I can relate to. But yeah, you know, I love your band thing is like kind of, I don't know how to respond to it. It's like,
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks. I don't know. Yeah.
How about you, Raph? How do you handle it? You're a little bit more arrogant than the two of us.
Oh my god. I don't know. I'm usually trying not to die after the set when people come up, and I don't know. I just say thank you a lot and kind of cower away.
Yeah, Wrath needs a significant recovery period and like some electrolyte.
Yeah. You know, most of the bands I've been in, it's always been the lead singer that goes if they don't play an instrument because they have nothing to carry off stage.
Right. That's
well, I do have
with the lead singer go take care of it.
No, well, I do because I still play guitar and I usually end up bringing two because I broke a string last show and I was really happy to have my other guitar handy. But Maggie, my wife, is actually pretty fantastic about like grabbing my shit so that I can go to the merch table. Because you know, like you said, somebody kind of has to be there, and so they want to see the face anyway. So that or someone really hot, and I'm both.
But it's tricky, right? Because the reality is, I have sold stuff after other bands have packed up their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like I did a show in Nyack with Point Blank, and I was actually gonna either buy one of their 12 inches or trade them one of mine from my like distro or my own label. But they packed up, and I was like, I don't want to bother them. Meanwhile, then I wound up selling like a T-shirt and 2 records to some dude because I just kind of waited to the end of the night to pack up my records.
Right.
Because I know I don't like to walk around with merch. I screwed up this last Sunday. I went to Hardcore Matinee at Tubby's in Kingston. And after the second band, there's one more band. I was like, oh, I'll just grab that 7-inch. It'll fit in my hoodie pocket. It did not. Put it on the ledge above the toilet. And the 7-inch is gone. And I went back and I was like, anybody see it? And I went to the band, like, oh, we only had 2 left and we sold the other one. I was like, oh, well.
Yeah, no, I've missed out on years because I'm like, oh, I'm not going to buy it yet because, you know, I don't want to walk around with it. And then, and then I get hammered and forget to buy it completely, you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's why I started, like, my daughter started telling me, was like, look, if you buy it with, like, Venmo or whatever, and we'll hold it for you, and then if you forget it, we'll mail it to you for free.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah.
So we will hold it for you, and then if you forget that you and you leave without it for whatever reason, and then you like, we will keep track of it, and we'll reach out to you ourselves because we'll have your contact on Venmo, and we'll say, hey, you bought this and you left this. What's your address? We'll mail it to you.
Yeah. No, I love the like when Cash App and stuff like that. Like, remember, like back in the day, like you had to like stop at a store to like get change for the merch box. And
I still do that, and I actually had the credit card slider machine when I was on tour in the 90s and early 2000s.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Shit, you could put merch.
It was like 1999 CD Baby would like actually process that stuff for you. So like 99 to 2008, I literally had the credit card slider machine, and then CD Baby would process that stuff.
That's cool. I didn't know that they did that.
Yeah, I was advanced.
Yeah, that was for sure.
Barrington, I need a beer. Sorry.
But yeah, now
my
it's
other
a
kid
different
has
method every time.
I knew one of my kids would hear me.
Tried to pay me like, you know, $3 for like one of these patches that we sell or whatever, and they only had a 5. And I'm like, I don't have any change. Just take it. It's okay.
Yeah. Well, that's also where you got to keep shit like priced the right way. Thank you, sweet child. The only reason to have children.
Yep.
Shut my door. Thank you, kid. I was like, I did. All right. I think it's time we got to play some games.
All right.
It's game time.
I like games.
Yeah, games are always the best. Let's see. I got to do a proper share screen. Hold on, I'll get the right thing. We're gonna go ahead and do the wheel of names.
Yay!
Yeah, baby. Right.
I'm excited.
It's so exciting.
You're gonna lose the game,
John. By love, I mean, well, sucks to be you. All right. So, all right, everyone at home that's watching this on YouTube, you see the names. Those of you that do not, in this game, I'm going to spin a wheel of names, and John is going to have to be that character when he introduces one of his songs. We have things from Rocky Balboa, Bernie Sanders, Visco Girl, Hallmark movie actress, Pillow Talk, Oprah, Mr. T, May, Wolverine, Pig Latin, someone with too much caffeine, auctioneer, weather person, the Pope, Optimus Prime, Donald Trump. It goes on and on and on. So you get one pass, John. If you honestly have no idea who the person is, because we had to put the one pass rule in there, because I mean it's always possible, I guess, that Steve and I say maybe we'll have someone that doesn't know who Mr. T is.
That's not one that I wouldn't know.
Well, yeah, you're aged like we are, but we've had younger people on here.
Oh yeah, and yeah,
we've had like 19-year-olds on here. Like, I'm not sure you would know what a Visco Girl is.
No.
See, there you go. You don't have teenage daughters from 10 years ago.
Yeah, so that would be my pass one if I got that, I guess. So what do? I click this?
I'm going to click spin.
Okay.
And then you're going to have to introduce the song, and the song is Doomsday Kegger.
Okay.
And you're going to have to, for 30 seconds, do a song introduction, but in the persona of the person it lands on.
Okay. Let's try it.
Yeah, we're going to. Let's try it. You hear that enthusiasm, people?
Let's try. Check it out.
What did it land on? Evil Mad Scientist.
Okay.
Doomsday Kegger.
Doomsday Kegger. Evil Mad Scientist.
Ha 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 ha! This song is about. I don't know. How the fuck?
Keep going.
This song is about the end of the world and not giving a fuck about it and just wanting to get drunk with your friends. Science, bitch.
Bitch.
I know the world keeps piling on, and this shit is fucked for everyone. I know it seems like everyone has gone insane, but it's such a shame we only have ourselves to blame. The population crisis that compounds on itself every single day. By now it's far too late, so let's just destroy this fucking
place.
I actually feel like what do you call it? That Mad Scientist was actually pretty good for that. With the whole destroy this fucking place and everything.
Right?
Like,
yeah,
bitch.
That was good, but I don't know. That was
now
a tough.
You can do that live.
I could do that.
You can do it.
There's a universe in which John could do that.
Yes. So, which was harder, doing the Mad Scientist impersonation or listening to your own song?
Good. That is a great question. You've done this before. Yeah, listening to my was kind of weird,
right?
But not well. Yeah, especially because like that's right when you record stuff. Steve, Scott, I'm sure you listen to the fuck out of it, right?
Oh, the fuck out of it, and I never listened to it ever again.
Right, you right, and then you never listen to it ever again. Yeah,
it's like these podcasts. We have one coming out on Friday, and Jay Peck, a singer from Calling Dead's like, "How's the podcast? Is it funny?" It's like, I didn't listen to it.
Right, I did it. Yeah,
Steve edits it. I upload it, and usually the day it comes out, I listen to it for the first time because I really don't want to listen to it more than once. And I listen.
Oh,
to
you
it
trust me
the
like
day
that?
It comes out to make sure it comes out. I was like, I do not listen in advance.
right.
I
Like
do not.
We've been
trust me.
recording our new thing, like, you know, in stages. Like we went and did 2 songs, then we went and did 5 songs, and we got like 3 or 4 more to do. And I'm already sick of those first 7 songs that we recorded. You know what I mean?
And the idea of you're sitting there and you know you're on camera and people are watching you react to your own song. Like I noticed you got up and started walking around. It's like, I'm going to get up and move now. It's too awkward. I can't sit here nodding my own head to my own song.
Yeah, no, that's my anxiety. I'm like, a cigarette. Yeah, that'll.
I would have anxiety doing that too.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you did a good job. A little short, but not bad.
Yeah, I tried. If it was like a character like Mr. T or something like that, I think I could have done probably. But
well, we can always give you a second round.
I mean, it's your show, Scott.
It is my show, which is why we're going to get to the best part of my show. Oh yeah, this is the second time we've done this shit.
Oh, if John's on his phone, how's this one gonna work?
Okay, here. You know what? We're gonna call from the.
Do a landline?
Yeah, I do.
Look at you, motherfucker! Motherfucker's got a landline.
Put it on speaker so we can hear that shit.
Yeah, do you have a speaker on the landline?
Do not.
Hell yeah.
You know, I put the phone up to that so we can all hear.
Okay. I don't know if this is going to work either. Hold on. All right.
We're going to figure this out. Everyone at home, like, we're solving problems.
I use your phone.
Because this is what they don't teach you in college or high school.
Like, it's for 30 seconds.
Okay.
Love you, Jody.
Thank you. Trust me, Jody.
All right. I got a phone. Hold on.
All right.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system.
Oh, yeah.
At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Fuck. It's hot out here. How you guys doing out there? All right. This song's about how I don't think that God is real. It's called Less Pray, More Slay.
Save your energy from prayers. There's no one out there really cares. Just a means to keep you scared. Ignore the promises you're told. Salvation's bought and sold. A fairy tale to keep you calm and keep you under control.
God damn, that is your best song I've ever heard, by the way.
Thank you.
It's great lyrically, and it goes beyond like the song structure is just really fascinating. It's really good. I fucking love that song.
Thank you, man. Yeah, and that's like that like kind of not breakdown riff or whatever in that song. Like I've had that riff since I was like probably 15 years old and just like never used it for anything, and it fit in that, and I was so stoked about that.
Yeah, it's great. I'm trying to think. I feel like it reminds me of maybe No Use for a Name, actually.
That's highly likely. Yeah.
But like not one of those super fast skate punk songs, like
Right. Like
yeah. But
yeah,
I'm comparing you to Tony Sly as a songwriter, so that's
hey, I'll take it, man.
yeah.
That's like, yeah,
like they're
definitely a lot of that influence in there for sure.
I always say you can take those fat records bands. I could probably take 5 of them and say there was 5 that I really dug, and the other ones were all fine.
Right.
And No Use for a Name was one of the 5. That's like fuck yeah.
No Use, Slagwagon, Strung Out. I always loved, but
Tilt.
Great. I mean, there was a lot of great bands.
There were. Yeah. Wag Wag was definitely on that list. Good Riddance.
Oh yeah.
Propaganda.
Wasn't Tilt on Lookout?
It's funny. It's like I say Fat Records, but like the songs, a lot of the albums were put out. It was like Epitaph and Fat Records back then used to like switch back and forth almost.
Right. Like
you can showed up on that record comps, even though they were Epitaph band.
Propaganda is like one of my favorite bands of all time. They put out their first 3 records or 4 records on Fat.
Yep. So the person we just called was John from Coffee with the Lions. So I don't know if you know that band. They're from Pennsylvania.
I've seen it on stuff before. Like they're a band that plays for sure.
They play, and the reason I chose him was that that's the second time we've done that bit, and we did that bit with him, and I had him call Dave Homeowner from Luxury Teeth the last episode we did. So I asked Dave for John's phone number so that I can have you call John. I figured it would just be some sort of chain reaction that occurs.
That's amazing.
It reminds me, my dad used to do these guerrilla parties.
Right.
So like get a bunch of guys who's like, hey, we need to have a party. Let's pick Sam's house. All right, on Friday, Mike, you roll over there and say you need to borrow a wrench. And if he's there, then you text all of us, and then we start all showing up with like food and drinks, and we have a party at Sam's house. And the rule is, if you show up and do this, that you have to be okay with it happening at your house. So once you participate in the guerrilla party, then you have to accept the fact that the guerrilla party could happen to you. And whatever plans you had, you either have to do the plans and leave the house and let us party in your home without you there. We have to cancel them and party with us.
Wow.
That idea.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That is absolutely nice.
Yes. My dad was in a retirement community.
We'll start some shit around here.
Me and Steve have talked about like guerrilla punk rock shows would be awesome. Just need like a power source. Yeah, I would love to.
We're about to do it on the side of the fucking highway.
I know.
We're
gonna week and a half.
That's how I found out about one of the last bands I released, Rebelmatic. During the pandemic, the dudes traveled around New York City with a generator and in alleys and on rooftops would do like 2 songs and leave and like Instagram it and like go.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was like nonstop. I was like, every week it was like a new like place they set up, played, and then they were gone before anyone could like stop them.
We used to go to like, I remember the first like acoustic like kind of punk rock shows that I ever went to. We had a laundromat in our town that was open 24 hours. And like kids would just flyer it like acoustic show at the laundromat. There was never like an owner there. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And we would just have like laundromat shows.
There was a place in Ohio called Sudsy Malone. It was a laundromat bar.
That's pretty awesome too.
It was fucking dope. So they can play, get beer, and also wash their tour clothes.
Right. But any laundromat can be a bar if you're crafty enough. You know what I mean?
It should be. As it should be.
Right.
Right.
So speaking of crafty, we're trying out a new bit on you here.
Okay.
This one's called Movie Stage Banter.
Okay.
And your goal is to not watch the movie, but listen to the amount of banter that I provide you and name the band and movie.
Okay.
and in some cases, I think it'll be really easy, but in not all the cases. And I didn't put them in any sort of order of easier or harder. So, yeah.
Okay.
It's going to be exactly what it's going to be. All right.
Spontaneous.
Just stage banter. You're not going to add any music, well, for the most part. All right.
Okay.
So here's the first movie, stage banter.
Oh. I know exactly what's going on right now.
Come on, great, yeah, come on. Hey, it's a riot. Thank you. No, this means that they want an encore. Oh yeah! I need you down here right now. I gotta run.
All right. Any
I can see
idea,
it
John?
so vividly in my head.
That thing you do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, John.
Pianos
Great movie,
by the airport. I just
Great movie.
I decided I'm gonna get a Bible quote tattooed on me, but only because it's in that movie. And
Which
it's
Bible quote?
fuck. Hold on.
Now he doesn't
I have
even
to.
He was like,
I
he's
know,
going to
hold
get it tattooed on me. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to get it tattooed on me.
It
Right.
is Luke 21:19. And that's what I'm gonna get. I'm not gonna get it what it says. So when people are like, what the fuck is that? Like, in patience possess ye your soul. And that's it.
All I want to have is, they're going to riot. That means they want an encore. How fucking punk rock is that?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's the most fucking punk rock line of stage banter ever. They're
Yeah.
rioting.
Dude,
That
fuck
means
yeah.
they want an encore.
It was the thank you EPA that gave it away for me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, EPA.
Yeah.
All right, hold on, we have the next one coming up there. All right, here we go. All right, here it comes. Hold on. Oh, yeah, I should have gapped a little bit more here. All right, here it comes. Next one.
Hello, Dublin! So you lot couldn't get tickets to Wilson Pickett tonight, no? You're supposed to come and see us, you know? I'm serious, only our manager fucked up. Yeah! We'd like to do a Pickett song now. How'd you like it? Hit it!
All right, any idea?
Was it like shit, what's the name of it? Was it like that Russell Brand movie?
Oh, yeah, I don't know who Russell Brand is, so I can't help you with that.
Get him to the Greek. Nah.
No. I mean, it sounds like I've heard it before, but I don't.
I'm sure you have. The band starts with the movie, and the band starts with a C. The
Think of a lot of C words, Scott.
I bet you do, asshole. All right. It's The Commitments.
The Commitments.
Huh.
Yeah, it's a classic movie from I believe the 90s. They wound up Irish band, R&B, and they formed it as soon as they started doing well. They broke up because that's what happens to good bands.
That's a good line too.
All right. I if you don't know this one, I just may have to end the podcast.
Okay.
Oh my god.
All right, it started.
In ancient times,
Yeah, I know exactly what this is.
before the dawn of history, lived an ancient race of people, the Druids.
I get to be that awful game and watch it, so I'm heavily amused.
No one knows who they were
How small it will be.
or what they were doing, but their legacy remains hewn into the living rock of Stone Age.
If that doesn't tell you, if you didn't know by that point. All right, who is it?
It's Spinal Tap. But
Yeah, it
my
is.
my favorite line in that movie is when the reporter is like, "Your third album, Shock Sandwich, got a 2-word review, shit sandwich," and they're like, "No, you can't print that."
You see, there's a sequel coming out.
Yeah, supposedly they're making.
I'm excited.
We shall see. We shall see.
I'm excited.
As I re-listened to that, it reminds me of I'm a big fan of the Dead Milkmen and how they always told a different story in front of Bitch and Camaro every
Right.
time I saw them live. And my punk band in high school, we had a song called Slurpee Break, and we recorded a story with weird feedback behind it, entering into the song. And then we had a song called Satanism. Was when the world was young, and time was we watched way too much Spinal Tap and listened to way too much Dead Milkmen, because we literally had like spoken word intros to like 3 songs.
That's amazing, though. Yeah, that's for
Also
sure.
terrible.
Also unbearable.
Like, why did we do that? And why did we think it was so funny?
It's best not to look back on past artistic decisions sometimes, you know? I mean, hey.
I was 16 and I didn't even do drugs and I still thought it was funny.
Right. No, you were 16 and you were playing in a band with your friends, which is fucking rad.
It was fucking great. I was like, oh my God, this is so brilliant.
Right. I mean, yeah, I've been doing this since I'm like 14 or 15. Like, still doing it. That's how fun it is. You know what I mean?
All right, you'll get this next one too.
Okay.
I bet. It's coming.
I was a geek in high school. I had really short hair. I played Dungeons and Dragons. I had a bug collection. I ate my boogers. My name's not Chaz. It's Chester.
Chester.
And I understand if you don't love me anymore. I played D&D too! Yeah! I was editor of the school magazine! I used to wear corduroy pants! I used to masturbate! Constantly!
Who is it, Chad? I want your body!
You recognize that one?
Of course, yeah. Naked pictures of B. Arthur. Outstanding.
You know the chick from the Golden Girls.
Yeah.
Who B. Arthur is.
It's like the whole response though, where everyone like collaborates back and feels with you. It's like I feel like when I was in high school, we had the Ram Gem. Our mascot was the Ram, and all I ever wanted to do was play that and have. When I was in high school, have that exact same reaction. I was like, yes, we agree. We are also dorks. We admit it. We've been pretending to be cool, but we are also just as dorky as you, Scott. I was like, I know I'm not the only dork here. I'm just one that admits it.
Right. Yeah. We're like, I don't even know that dork is like a word anymore that kids use. You know what I mean? Like, you know, yeah. Everybody's
whale penis.
You know?
Yeah, I mean,
that was the last time we used it.
In particular, it's like she walks around loud and proud and does her makeup in weird, fucked up ways and puts jewels all over her face and wears socks that go past her knees. And
yeah,
I mean, and she mismatches stuff and she has her own style. She doesn't give a fuck. She's French out of give a fucks about what anyone thinks about how she looks.
Yeah,
I wish I was that way at 13.
Yeah, I got a daughter that's the same. Like, she's totally does her own thing. I would call her current style like homeless chic, kind of like she wears like these like baggy sweatpants and like old t-shirts and beanies all the time.
There you go. Yeah. My other kid walks around like a bottle of Pepto-Bismol just covered in pink.
Yeah, that's a new thing too.
It was like she went from being like the emo girl with the purple hair, 3 years ago to like, now I'm just a giant walking like pink bottle.
Right.
Everything's pink. I'm like, all right, we'll see what it is 2 years from now.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's see what the next one is. We got a couple more. You've done really well so far. This one's really short.
Okay.
One of my favorite movies ever, though.
Here's a bit of a rattlesnake.
It's a bit of a rattlesnake.
So I'm giving you. Because if you heard the first chord, you would know the song. You would know the band. I'll play it one more time.
Yeah, play it one more time.
West Jazz.
Here's a bit of a rattlesnake.
God damn it.
Oh, you know what? Oh, I think I have a pretty decent guess because I don't know I didn't do my homework and watch through this video.
You didn't watch through it. Did I send you the Dropbox link, but you didn't watch it, you motherfucker?
No, this is more fun for me.
I know.
Fuck, I don't know
Usually
what
you
that
send me a list. It makes it too easy.
All right, Rath, what you
Is
got?
Is it Crybaby?
No.
No.
Lou Diamond Phillips is the actor.
Oh, La Bamba?
Fuck yeah, there you go.
Wow.
There you go. La Bamba. It's a bit of a rattlesnake. All right. We'll see if you get this next one.
Okay.
I know it was a favorite of mine when I was like a teenager. You're like my age, so you know.
Right.
You know, that's what happens when you get to be my age. You start to understand the same.
Damn it, somebody give me a beer. A beer, damn it, a beer. Damn it, one of you give me a beer. Give me a beer, you fucking...
That Rock and Roll High School or?
Not Rock and Roll High School. Good guess. Think another punk rock movie.
Wasn't like SLC Punk, was it?
Not SLC Punk. You're on the decline here.
Yeah.
That was a hint.
That
I literally just gave
was
you the
way
hint.
too good of a hint.
I know, right? Man, it's like
It's not No Effects, I'll tell you that.
Civilization, and you don't know it.
No, it's the decline of Western civilization. Yeah.
There you go.
Once you said decline, I knew what you were talking about, but
It's
I haven't
okay.
seen that in a long time either. Now I want to watch all this stuff. Like,
I know, right?
Bomba, bro. What a great movie.
Great movie. All right, what's next? I don't even remember what's next. It took me like hours to do this.
Hey, hold on. Y'all know the motherfucking police trying to tell us backstage? What the fuck, we can't play.
Tell us.
Motherfuckers trying to tell us what the fuck we can't say. We do what the fuck we want to do. We say what the fuck we want to say. So everybody, put the middle fingers high in the
Just
sky.
high in the sky.
Until the punk ass cop backstage.
It killed
That
me.
was my favorite movie.
But I had to.
Oh, it's the best movie ever.
I'm trying to think which movie that's from.
It's a very recent one.
Oh,
It was so inspiring.
Is it the NWA movie?
It is the NWA movie.
Yeah.
Look at you, John. You were nailing it.
Yes.
All right, we're traveling back to the 80s this one, but we're still making fun of the police.
We're so glad to see so many of you lovely people here tonight. We would especially like to welcome all the representatives of Illinois' law enforcement community who have chosen to join us here in the Palace Hotel Ballroom at this time. We certainly hope you all enjoy the show. And remember, people, that no matter who you are and what you do to live, thrive, and survive, there's still some things that make us all the same. You, me, them, everybody.
That's like a movie. It's not fucking Eddie and the Cruisers, is it?
Not Eddie and the Cruisers. Great fucking movie, though. Well done. Look at you pulling down from the bag at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
My
I love it.
hint is Saturday Night Live.
Blues Brothers.
Fuck yeah, the Blues Brothers.
Yeah, buddy.
Look at you. All right. This is the last one. And this
Okay.
is the first punk rock movie I ever watched in my entire life.
Okay.
And it was like, it's the one scene that I go back to now and I'm like, man, why did I want to be a punk rocker after watching this? But whatever.
Right.
Perfect example of punk rock aggressiveness. You want to get this club closed down or something before... You guys have minds this big. All right, that's enough. Knock it off.
This big.
Mm-hmm.
Flea was in the movie.
Flea was in the movie.
There's only 2 punk rock movies that had Flea in them.
I know. I'm trying to think the name of one of them right now.
I can't remember the name of one of them. I remember the name of this one. There were 3 punk rock bands that opened that were featured in this movie. TSOL, the Vandals, and in this case, DI.
Okay, yeah, I remember the movie with the Vandals in it. Because that was I probably saw that before I even knew who like TSOL was.
Yep. I had never heard of any of the bands when I first saw this.
I cannot remember the name of this movie though.
All right. Raph, you got it, buddy?
Nope.
You got
it? Matt doesn't have it either?
No, I don't.
The movie that was the most seminal movie of my youth, and neither of you get it?
Well, I mean, just because you're a weirdo.
Suburbia.
Okay. I think that was even on Netflix at one point.
I literally used to walk around with like a patch of TR for the Rejected on my leather jacket. I love this movie so much, but this scene is so fucked up. Like literally, a girl is getting assaulted and her clothes ripped off, and I'm like, none of that made any sense to me because that wasn't the punk rock show I went to.
Right.
It was so weird, like trying to like navigate my own understanding of punk rock and the nihilism that I would see in things like this and Decline of the Western Civilization.
Right. Well, that was like other people's perception of punk rock. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, and people still don't get it. You know, when you tell somebody you're in a punk rock band, they're like, "Oh, do you guys wear like makeup and stuff?" And you're like, "What?"
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know who did. I saw a post on Instagram. Someone's making some sort of movie, and it's like someone joins a punk rock gang and then gets turned into violence. I'm like, I feel like that was the trope of the '80s that like punk rockers were all gangers. Like even Alvin and the Chipmunks became the Chipmunks, and like Alvin hung out with all the punk rockers with the weird visors. I'm like,
there's a great thing. I'll send it to you guys, but and I'm trying to think of what the name of the band was, but this kid, Brian Gorsinger, was in it in New Jersey. He wound up being the singer for Nightbirds.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I know the Nightbirds. Yeah.
Yeah. Great dude. He books shows for other bands. That's what he like does for a living now. Books big tours and stuff. But him and those guys that were in that band were all hilarious. And they like wrote into like one of those like HGTV like makeover shows, like saying that they would be like made over like to look like a punk rock band.
That's
and
hilarious.
It is fucking gold. Like,
well, I need to see that.
Yeah, I'll find it and send you guys the link. I can't even remember what the name of that band was. This is probably like 15 years ago that they did this, but it is fucking hilarious.
Well, you have
hell yeah,
and you did a great job at movie stage banter, by the way.
I did my best, Scott. You know,
I give you an A+ ish.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I'll take that.
You kind of hit them all across the board.
For a former,
I literally think the only one that you literally had no idea at all was just that last one. But even that, like,
right? Yeah, I knew the movie, but I couldn't remember the name of it.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You did great. You're great.
Right. That was who was in that movie? The guy from Scrubs.
Oh, I have no idea who was. Were there actually any like real actors in that thing? I mean, I used to watch that shit when I was in high school in 1992, 93. And I haven't watched it at least since I graduated in 95.
Yeah, I don't even, like I said, it's probably on something now. I mean, now you can find like anything.
I'm sure, but I mean, I'm not even sure I would recommend it to someone because, like, I certainly more close to, like you mentioned, SLC Punk. I'd much rather recommend SLC Punk to someone as an understanding of punk rock versus that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's still imperfect in itself, but like it's certainly a better understanding of what I grew up with in comparison to like that.
Right. Yeah, and like movies that you just had access to back then, like, you know, you watched over and over and over again because there was like all this stuff available to us. I saw the other week or something. Remember Dragnet with Dan Aykroyd and Tom?
Yeah, that was great. They won like they had that thing with the Satan Club or whatever, the Satanic Club with all goat feet and everything. I haven't seen that in 20 or 30 years.
I probably haven't seen that in like 20 years.
Yeah.
But I remember it was on, you know, HBO or whatever for like a stretch when I was 10 or something. And like I watched that movie and I like remembered all the lines and shit from it. You know what I mean? But like hadn't seen it in forever.
I gotta go back and watch that. Like, was that biker gang a bunch of punk rockers though?
What's that?
Was the biker gang that they were like infiltrating was a bunch of like punk rocker type people too?
Yeah.
It's like even Frank Miller's Batman, like the main villain he fought against had like the mohawk and the collar and like the visor. It was like, I mean, punk rockers were basically the 1980s trope of bad person. I was like, they're either black or they're a punk rocker.
Right. And now we've evolved into just like this super caring group of people who do benefit shows and like
right.
So the nihilism has kind of gone out of most of it.
Right. Although, yeah, I'm still that way a little bit.
I mean, most.
Right.
I mean, it's not going like you have a kid, you're paying your bills.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's
by any means, but like I think that way. But yeah, you still have to like fucking.
That's my point, right? Like their whole version like is literally. I was at the show the other day, and I met a great guy who does like weird electronic music, and he's a train hopper, and he's constantly, and his stories are great. And I'm like, that sounds like a fascinating life. That being said, I'm not sure that I could live constantly on a train, traveling, no health care, and no home.
Right. No.
That was the punk rock that was portrayed in those movies.
Right. I mean, sometimes I think about that and how awesome it would be, but it wouldn't be for that long, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I guess if I was doing it and I never wanted to like have children, question me, don't want to have children, I do, but like, you know what I'm saying? It was like at a certain point, like there is a freedom to having nothing, right? If you literally have nothing to worry about other than food, drink, shelter, and a modicum of healthcare, then
yeah, I mean, then you could get away with it. And you know, there are people that do that, you know, we meet through music and you're like, dude, like I get it, and that's awesome that you can do that. I don't think I could, but like, you know, it's probably a pretty cool way to live. Like, you know, but yeah,
so, I think we got to wrap this up though, because I got to get going here soon, and I don't want to like keep you. Any closing thoughts on Stage Banter that you want to share? Has your thoughts evolved? Have you had any new ideas? Did the movies inspire you? Did the character inspire you?
Yeah, the movie thing, like now I'm going to go back and watch a bunch of these movies and maybe steal some Stage Banter or not steal, but look for inspiration from that. Right. And the next time we play, I could talk about this. So that's something, you know, something else to add. But yeah, come out and see us play.
Awesome. And hopefully I'll see you again. I come down to Florida now and then. I'm actually going to be down in Florida, hopefully, assuming that my mother-in-law is healthy enough to have us in like 2 or 3 weeks.
Cool.
During the kids' spring break, I'm actually going to be in Melbourne, and there's a show that's where my mother-in-law lives. I'm going to see Mace and the Petty Thefts and Anti-Don'ts.
Nice. And I
know my dad in Daytona, so it's not really a hang out in Orlando. I'm certainly not making out to Tampa, St. Pete area.
Right. But yeah, dude. I mean, when you're down here, just message or whatever. I'll if I can come hang out, I'll come hang out.
Awesome.
All right.
Florida Underground Fest next year. You guys playing next year?
Hopefully, yeah. I don't know if that's like I don't know if they announced the bands already, then no.
They haven't announced anything. I haven't even gotten my usual email like request to sponsor it.
Right. So yeah, I think that'll be coming probably.
All right.
But yeah, we got a bunch of good shit coming up. We're stoked about it. So
awesome. Well, thank you, John. You've been a fucking great guest. Rath, you've been an acceptable co-host. Such a shitbag, John.